I was hosting for Jeff Garcia, and I said, okay,
Yeah.
I think I could do this.
Yeah.
My whole goal back then was just to sell t-shirts
Yeah.
and do 15, 20 minutes. What's up, guys? We are back here in the studio at the Comedy Showcase App Studio, in our new studio. This is a new studio. It's called the Green Room. But Comedy Club Confessions is back. I have my guest today, very good friend of mine, hilarious comedian, writer, producer, actor, Orlando Leyba is in the studio.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, I'm in the studio.
I'm
in the green room, which is green.
You're in the green room, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, what's up, man?
Nothing much, buddy.
Yeah?
Good seeing you. You're so full of positive energy. I love it.
I learned it from you, bro. I learned it from you.
You didn't learn it from me. You just made a choice.
That's true.
You just like, I'm done. I'm done feeling the way that I'm feeling. Because I saw you out there. You were all feeling all crappy and stuff. And then you made that shift.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. I love it. I love seeing it.
Really, man?
Yeah.
Dude, honestly, I actually took one thing from you. You'd always tell me, Orlando would come up to me and tell me, I love seeing my friends win, right?
Yeah.
He would always say that. I love seeing my friends win. Orlando is honestly one of the very few comics that I know that actually looks out and helps out, like advice or like, and he doesn't expect anything in return. Like in LA, it's very like people go, hey man, I'll do this for you, but like, what can you do for me? You know?
Yeah.
But you're not like that.
No, I'm not.
Where'd that come from? Is that from the East Coast or what?
That comes from being not East Coast. That just comes from being that way, making that choice, and getting over the LA BS.
Yeah.
So I do credit, I'm a married guy and everything, and I do credit my wife when she first moved out to LA. That she noticed that something has shifted in me, that I wasn't being my normal self, my natural self. And I was caught up in the LA thing where like I'm talking to you, but then I'm looking over your shoulder to see who else is coming in through the door. So when you do that, even though you're LA and you understand what I'm doing and you're like, that doesn't bother me. But trust me, subconsciously, it bothers you because subconsciously you're like, oh, this dude doesn't even care about me.
Yeah.
He's just talking to me just to talk to me past the time because he's worried about who else is going to come in.
Yeah.
And once I kind of like went back to my original self, the guy that got here from Miami, Florida years ago, then everything started flowing more natural. And then I started sleeping better.
Yeah.
So with me, everything's with sleep. If something's messing with my sleep, something's wrong in my ecosystem. So I got to change that because I love to sleep. I'm not one of these guys that's like, oh, I could sleep like 2 hours. Why? I sleep. I take naps.
Yeah, naps are good.
Naps are fantastic. Yeah. You can't go overboard. I'm rigid. I'm rigid about my naps. My naps are like 15 minutes tops. That's what I consider a nap. There's people that want to take off their clothes and get under the covers and stuff. I'm not that person. I'm just 15 minutes, let's recharge.
Power nap.
Yeah, let's get back at it. Yeah. But then at night, boom, it's very random when I say, oh, I haven't slept 8 hours. I didn't put in a good.
So you sleep about 8 hours a night?
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm more like 5 to 6 hours.
Yeah, but you're blessed. You have kids.
I got kids, and
So that's a different world.
My favorite moment I've known Orlando for a while. I met Orlando at the Bray Improv when I was opening for Jeff Garcia. And Orlando popped in, and we met that day, and we clicked. He's been always
shout out to Jeff Garcia. Nothing but good energy.
Yeah,
heading your way, brother.
He's been he introduced us, and we connected, and then he came to the Ha. He was doing spots at the Ha Comedy Club, and he just started grinding, bro. And you were just been getting up everywhere performing, and now like cut to like today, you've been on the Tonight Show 3 times?
3 times.
Tonight Show. 3 times. You know, I know comics with Jimmy Fallon 3 times. Mm-hmm. Comics I know I haven't even been able to do once, but you done it 3 times. Mm-hmm. You shot an HBO special, half hour.
Yes.
It's called Adorable on HBO.
Where thanks to Viva Film and Edwin Licona and Victor, they looked out for me and they blessed me with that.
That's what I'm saying. But
not vice versa, but also starting with the fact that Ben Gonzalez had me at a show at the West Side Theater, and Ben like nudged Edwin Licona, and he was like, hey, you need to watch this guy.
Oh, nice.
And then he saw me there, and then Edwin was already shooting something with Ida Rodriguez, comedian Ida Rodriguez, and Ida Rodriguez. When Edwin mentioned me to Ida, Ida's exact words were, "You need to have him
Oh
on the
wow,
show. You need to."
amazing.
And they gave me 5 minutes on Ida, like one of the entrenos, the
Yeah,
one that's featuring Ida Rodriguez when he was doing kind of like showcase half hours.
yeah.
Yeah.
The 15-minute ones.
Yeah.
What year was this? Like in 2018?
This had to be in 2017,
2017.
2018.
And your special came out when?
My special at the end of 2019.
So imagine that 2
Yeah.
years,
Yeah.
planted a seed, saw you to showcase
Yeah.
at a regular show, right? Not even a
Yeah.
showcase, it was a
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
And then boom, you got a special. And then you
Yeah.
did the Tonight Show afterwards or before?
I did the Tonight Show before, the first one before it released.
Perfect.
And then I did it again the following year. And then I did it again even during COVID when we were all locked in.
Yeah, that's a lot of great accomplishments. And also too, you just got you got your name on the wall at the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
Comedy Store. Like you've been. I mean, that's a pretty.
Yeah.
You came to LA in what year? What year would you come to LA? When did you make the full move?
The full move, 2013, October.
2013.
Yeah.
That's so 9 years later.
Yeah, 9 years. That's why even like I run into certain comics who are still trying to make it into the Comedy Store. And I tell them, they're like, I don't even want to try anymore. And I just said, it took me 9 years to even get here, brother. So
Yeah.
it's like, it's all due time. There's no competition. Everybody stay in your own lane.
Mm-hmm.
I don't wish malice on anybody. If you don't mess with me, it's cool. I step to the side. I keep it moving.
Yeah.
I'm good at reading the room. I'm blessed and I'm thankful for that. And I just do, and I just vibe out. Like, you know, it's certain characters that you're like, man, you're friends with that person, like a Jack Jr.
Yeah.
You know, like or Orny Adams.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Neil Brennan, like people that are very different from
Very
each other.
different.
And I have a certain vibe, and I just, you know, not to get too personal. Years ago, I lost my brother, but before I lost him, I wasn't talking to him because I didn't want to deal with him.
Okay.
And it's not a regret because I learned something from the loss when he passed away from diabetes. What I learned from it is that there's nothing wrong with dealing with people in their world. So right now I'm in your world. I'm in Jack Jr.'s world, and I'm cool with it. And I still can be me. I don't need to get ratchet. I don't need to curse.
Yeah.
I still can be me.
Yeah.
So I regret that I didn't get
I'm ratchet and I curse.
allegedly. But it's like I didn't have to cut my brother off, but I wasn't mature enough to know that.
Yeah.
So now that's the way I am with people now, where I'm just like, I'll deal with you in your world. And there's people that I slide into their world and they don't want me in their world.
Yeah.
And I'm cool with it. Okay, boom.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I communicate more. I explain more to some of the people at the Comedy Store. I tell them, oh, like, I'm not rude. I say bye to people and stuff like that, but I don't hang out that much.
Yeah.
I love the Comedy Store, but I don't hang out because I want to stay married.
Yeah.
So one of the ways you stay married is that you do your set and you go home.
I learned that.
Yeah. Or you do, if you're on the road, you do your set and go back to the hotel.
Yeah.
Advice, if the other way, if you're single and you're trying to score, then you got to lock it in at the club. Don't leave the club. Lock it in at the club. Don't go from the club to a second location, secondary public location. It's kind of like, hey, do you want to close this deal? Yes, I'm interested in closing this deal. Do you give consent? I give consent. You give consent. I got your consent. You got my consent. Let's go back to my hotel. Yeah. That's if you're single. But if you're married, do the show, sell your t-shirts, sell your USB, sell whatever you're going to sell, or do your meet and greet, and then go home. Yeah. And just order room service. I'm a big fan of room service, and I order room service, and that's it. That's how I blow off steam, dude. Yeah.
You work out though too, no? No, really?
No.
Did you get that? You maintain that sexiness like that?
No, this is married sexiness right here. You know what I'm saying? I don't try to fight.
Were you ever a skinny guy before?
Yeah, years ago, probably in 90,
when you got married, you got bigger.
Oh well, I think you put on every year that you're married, you put on something like 3 pounds or 5 pounds.
Really?
Yeah.
How long have you been married?
and I've been married 15 years.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah.
like what 30 carry the one, like 36 pounds.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm up there, dude. I used to be in the 170s, and now I'm 210, 215.
What if you were already big? I'm as big. I'm big, and I'm basically married, and I'm still fat.
Yeah, but you know what? Yeah. You're. I saw young pictures of you, but you
Yeah,
were probably not eating well and
I
skipping
wasn't
meals and
skipping meals,
drinking.
drinking.
Yeah.
There was
And that.
there was days that I would just wake up hungover,
Yeah.
and then I wouldn't eat anything, and I go to
Yeah.
the haha and I have a drink, and I just start drinking. I would want to eat it all day.
Yes, I had uncles who were like alcoholics,
Yeah,
and like to the point where they would shake if they didn't eat.
that's
They had the shakes.
that's crazy.
But one other thing was that they were like, "Oh, liquor makes you gain weight." Some of them were real skinny, but it's because they didn't eat all
Yeah,
day
that's
that
all.
they suppressed their
Yeah.
appetite, man. Yeah.
Oh, real quick, guys! Shout out to my sponsor, Comedy Showcase app. Make sure comedians to submit your content on this app, and then the app is basically working for you comedians. It's a lot of scouts, industry look at this app, and then you actually get paid for views. If you get a lot of views, you get paid. It's kind of like YouTube.
Nice.
Comedy Showcase app.
Comedy Showcase.
Comedy Showcase app. Dude, I remember one of the most recent moments when I was doing my Netflix audition.
That Comedy Showcase
Yeah.
app. Do they go? Can I go to like the App Store and the Android store?
Yeah,
And
get an app.
download it
Yeah.
onto my phone.
I have a video up there. A lot
And
of
you kind of
comedians-
make a profile and then just upload.
Yeah.
And then if
Yeah.
you get a certain amount of views,
the app pays you.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It's
That's
great, right?
beautiful. Oh, this is a great commercial we just did, by the way. Great commercial. See what we did there? You thought it was organic. We were selling. We were pitching the whole time.
So a lot of you guys know I tape for Arsenio on Netflix as a joke.
Fantastic. Wonderful moment.
Wonderful moment was for me. Let me tell you what it was. I was in the Comedy Store in the belly room.
Yeah.
There was 20 comedians going up. I was number 17.
Yes.
Number 17, and I was just in the back, and everyone's doing like their 5 minutes, and I'm in the
Yes.
back just like fidgeting and moving around, and I saw Orlando, and Orlando was there just to be supportive. Like, he wasn't there good enough. He was just being supportive, and I don't know if it was who you were there to see. Were you just there in general?
Just there in general. I had a spot that night.
Okay.
I'm not gonna make myself holier than holy, but I had also hosted one of these weeks prior, like a week before and stuff like that. But I saw the lineup and I saw it was like my people's going there, and a few comics that I haven't seen. And I really enjoy comedy. I really do. Yeah.
So then Orlando comes to me and he goes, "Hey," he goes like this. He goes, "Come here." And he gets me get up, and I leave the belly room. I go downstairs.
If you're listening to this, when he goes, "Hey, come here," I kind of like smacked him on the shoulder.
Yeah, he smacked me on the shoulder, and he goes, "Come here." And we left the belly room. We went to the lobby downstairs, and he goes, "What's wrong?" And what'd you say to me? I forget what you said to me, but you kind of like, you like kind of knocked some sense into me, and you calmed me down.
Oh, that you already knew what you were gonna do. You were gonna do great. You already know what you were gonna say.
Yeah.
And then I told you, tell me your first joke.
Yeah.
And then you told me your first joke, and that usually, like when you do that, even if you're not a comedian and you're doing a presentation at work, if you just remember that first part, your beginning, and you just repeat it to yourself. Well, I'm happy to be here and not at home with my wife. I'm happy to be here and not at home with my wife. I'm happy to be here and not at home with my wife. That's it.
That's it.
The hardest part is getting into it.
Yeah.
And you told me, you knew what you were, and then I go, oh, you know what you're gonna say, and you know the rest. I told you.
And he literally I went from having like a little headache in my head, like pulsing and nerves, and I was nervous, and I'm like, oh my God, this is a big moment for me, blah, blah, blah. And he calmed me down, and I always tell him, thank you so much for that. And that's very rare for someone to take the time to help you. Like that's the kind of guy Orlando is. He's a very good guy, and I trust me, guys. If you guys don't know Orlando Leyba, he's the nicest guy in the world, and I wish nothing but good things for you, bro.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you. I'm working on it. I'm I go to therapy and stuff, but I don't just want to put it on me because I'm a silver lining type of guy. There's a shift happening in our community. There's a shift happening. People are shifting on their way of, man, I used to be this way and this hasn't worked out for me, or I used to think that there was this way. And because we have so much access and so many platforms, you're not just eating off of 4 networks.
Yeah.
or off of 4 shows around town. You can eat, you can move, you can travel, you can earn a living, you can buy a house
Yeah.
doing stand up.
Yeah.
If you just find your way through it, or ask your way, ask someone that you trust. But I've seen like the OGs are also coming to their senses, like, oh man, we should have been a little bit more
Nicer
unified,
to each other.
nicer to each other and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, they're still people, but again, that's their energy, that's their lane, that they want to be like that. They want to be loners. They just want, I get it. I support them. If they're not doing any malice to anybody else, I'm good, man.
Yeah.
I have no issues with it.
What kind of advice would you give a young comic out right now at 5 years in? Because you have a lot of comics that watch this podcast.
Yeah.
What's the best advice you would give in a few words?
Just pace yourself. Just pace yourself. Don't rush. Like, you have your own lane. There's no one like you. There's no one like you. You made it already through the millions of sperms that shot out of your father. You made it.
Yeah.
You got to the egg.
Yeah.
You're good. So you already broke through that. So that's one win. Okay. Then let's say you made it to the age of 16, 17. That's another win.
Yeah.
You know? So it's just like you're in your own lane. You're constantly winning. You have more wins than losses. If you really look at your life in that way. If you choose to look at your life that way. Man, I ate today. My stomach is full. That's a win.
Yeah.
That's a win. You know, because there's someone out there who didn't eat today. And he lost.
Yeah.
You know, he or she lost. Or they. Or them.
How do you feel about comedians that are 2-3 years in and they're already trying to get online at the Laugh Factory, trying to get on the Laugh Factory, the Hollywood Improv, Comedy Store?
Go for it.
Yeah?
Go for it. Go for it. I love the confidence.
Yeah.
I love the confidence. Just have the respect.
Yeah.
There's a lot of confidence, and there's some people that lack the respect.
Got it.
You know? So,
yeah. Was there any...
Because I want you to understand that the industry itself is going to disrespect you. So please at least have respect for the guy that you're standing in line next to, or behind, or in front of, because we're already going at an industry who's gonna disrespect you. We're already going to an industry.
What do you mean by that?
Like, you know, certain people get awards at major situations and major things, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just the industry is the disrespectful part in it. It's not the comic, or not even the comic who's accepting the award.
Yeah.
Because that comic's worked a long time, and for that comic to say, man, I don't deserve to be here right now, so I'll humbly bow out. There's comics that do that.
Yeah.
Those don't come that many because they still need to feed themselves and their family and stuff, so they don't want to miss this opportunity. So, like, the industry's already going to disrespect other people more because Jack has a little bit more heat than Orlando. You know? Jack has more heat than Orlando, so we want Jack here. Jack has a higher presence on social media, so we want Jack here. But Jack's only been doing it for 3 years. Not that you've been doing it for 3 years. But, you know what I'm saying? That's the example there. And then, but so-and-so, comedian X and comedian Z. And they go for comedian X because comedian X, the industry sees that comedian X has all the followers and is verified and everything. And comedian X has a hot 15. In some cases, 5. But comedian X can't survive in Springfield, Missouri. In the Blue Room.
Blue Room at the bowling alley.
They can't.
I've done that room. It's a good room.
They can't survive there. They cannot. They're like, I can't. That's the type of gig that if you don't know what you're doing, you'll go back home and you're like, I don't want to ever go on the road again. I just want to keep doing the 5 minutes here in town and stuff. And that's good because that's what works for comedian X. Comedian Z, you could take them to the Blue Room. You can take them to the Cellar in New York.
Any room.
You could take them to the LA Comedy Club in Vegas. You could take them to the Cellar in Las Vegas also. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You could take them to the haha.
Take them everywhere.
You could take them. You know, there's a lot of people that
They can't.
rock it
Yeah.
at the store, rock it at the Improv, but then can't rock it
The
at the
haha.
haha.
Haha is a different beast, bro.
Yeah. It's a different, but that's what makes a comic.
Yeah. What it means by the haha being a different animal, the haha comedy club in North Hollywood, which my family owns, the audience there is so different. It's so diverse. It's like
no. It's the mistake by saying the real audience. It's an audience that everybody works. Everybody has health insurance, blue collar.
That's what I meant.
Blue collar and everything. The Hollywood side on this side is tourists, people on vacation, people that came to see a star.
Yeah, they're ready to laugh.
Yeah, they're ready to laugh. Haha is like,
it's like, all right, I think I should do it more.
I paid my money. You know what I'm saying?
Make me laugh.
Yeah, make me laugh. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that energy.
Is growing up, because you started in Miami, correct?
Yes, 100%.
Started in Miami. Coming up as a comedian, was there anyone that maybe had kind of beef with, or someone that gave you a problem with coming up as a comedian?
No.
Nobody at all?
No.
Nobody?
No.
Everyone was nice to you?
Yeah. No, but I was, first of all, I started comedy at 32 years old.
Okay.
So I'm already technically a grown man. Me and my wife have a house, front yard, backyard, 2 dogs.
So you were already married?
Yeah, I was already married, man.
Oh, no way.
This was, my wife thought I was depressed. So she got me like into improv acting. So for my birthday, she gave me like improv 101 classes.
Really? I didn't know this.
Because I was getting overweight. I'm a satellite engineer for CBS News. I'm driving the truck. I'm a camera guy. I'm an editor. Everyday cargo shorts. Everyday cargo shorts and little hiking boots.
No way.
Yeah, that was my job every day, man. And my wife, I was even more overweight. And she thought that I was depressed. I wouldn't even style my hair, wouldn't let my hair grow. I would just buzz it.
That's yeah.
Yeah, when I first got here, it was like that. And she saw that. I tried improv acting, did good. But then even the improv acting teacher was like, "No, I think you're more like a stand-up guy."
Oh, for real?
And I was just like, "Oh, okay." So then I tried my first time was at the Miami Improv.
The one in Coconut Grove?
Coconut Grove, yeah. Downstairs one because it was upstairs and they went downstairs.
Why'd that one close down?
Because they opened it in Doral.
Oh, okay.
You know, and basically the Hard Rock and all of that just took the air out of Coconut Grove and South Beach. It just pulled all the air, and everybody on the weekends, instead of going to South Beach or Coconut Grove, which were the two hangout spots, now would go to the Hard Rock because there was multiple clubs and you could gamble. So they took everything.
Wow, so I didn't know that. So you basically had a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
And
401k.
And you're already set for life. You basically had a legit job.
Yeah.
Married.
When I moved here, I cashed in my 401k and I moved here with a bag of money. I just had a bag of money.
Wow. And just pursue stand-up comedy.
Because
when you moved out here, you weren't really. You were, what level were you at? What year were you in?
I moved here year 3.
Oh wow! So you literally put balls in.
Yeah.
And your wife's super supportive.
Yeah, it's so funny because you said crazy. You're in your third year. I just realized that my third year, I cashed in my 401k.
That's amazing, bro. And my third year, bro, I honestly, I just started hosting for Jeff.
Yeah,
I was hosting for Jeff Garcia, and I said, okay, I think I could do this.
Yeah.
My whole goal back then was just to sell T-shirts. And do 15, 20 minutes. And then everything's changed.
Well, I got here with the idea that I was going to get here and then I was going to be a character actor. I was going to be like Luis Guzman.
Yeah.
And just next thing you know, blink and have 100 movies under my belt.
Yeah.
Doing small little characters. Not the main guy, not the second to the main guy.
Yeah.
The third, fourth guy that everybody kind of remembered. Oh, that guy's unique.
Yeah.
You know, and I still have faith that will one day come my way. And then as the years went on, I just kept on falling back in love with comedy, stand up more and more.
Yeah.
Like every time you go through your phase where you're like, all right, and you're kind of mailing it in. And then it gets to a point where you kind of lock in.
Yeah.
And then it becomes about consistency. So now my goal is every time I hit the stage is just be consistent.
Yeah.
Be consistent. I still take my bombs here and there.
Yeah.
But and I lean into them because you learn from every bomb you learn.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. That's the best thing though. That's when you know you're a comic. When you can bomb
and take it.
take it, and then the next day you get
Move on.
right back up. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
woof, that was a rough one, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great, man. Guys, dude, Orlando, where can they find you, man?
At Hey Lando. Keep it simple.
Hey Lando, it's on all social media.
All social
You have a
media.
website?
Yeah, heylando.com.
Heylando.com.
Yeah.
Any upcoming dates coming up next month?
Next month, where am I? Oh, I don't know.
Check the website, heylando.com,
yeah,
guys.
and Instagram, that's it.
Instagram, Heylando. I'm Jack Jr. Comic. Guys, go
Oh,
to
I
my-
need help. I'm putting out a special request. If you can help me get verified on social media, just do it. Don't tell me you could do it for a certain amount of money. Just do it, and then the universe will return it to you.
I like that. That's like that.
Just make that phone call for me, dude. You don't know.
Check
That's
us
gonna
out.
be good for your soul.
Please like, subscribe, share, follow Orlando Leyba. Thank you guys so much. Bye.